guys, Brianna here, back with another episode of Bre'sBooks to do my February wrap-up finally. I don't know why it's taking me so long to do this, but I have been feeling particularly motivated in the wrap-up area lately. Haven't really had a lot to say about the books I've been reading, I don't feel like. So, anyways, I did read a decent amount last month, so I'll go ahead and get into it. First thing I finally finished in February is I finished listening to Gates of Thread and Stone by Lori M. Lee. This is the first book in a series by her. It's kind of a dystopian fantasy. I don't know exactly what you'd call it, but I enjoyed it. I would have finished it a lot sooner, but the stereo and speakers in my car kind of malfunctioned, and so I couldn't get the disc out of here, and so I couldn't finish listening to this until my stereo started working again. And by that point, I just finished the last little bit of the story from checking the book out at the library because I didn't want to wait any longer to finish it. I gave this 4 stars. Actually, all the books except for one thing I gave 4 stars to. So that was good. It was a solid 4-star month for me. The second book I finally read was Winter by Marissa Meyer, the 4th and final official installment of the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I really loved the ending. I know a lot of some people had problems with how neatly the ending wrapped up, but I really enjoyed that. I liked that it ended how it did, personally, and especially after reading Stars Above, the short stories collection. The last short story in there was the best thing ever. It was so much fandom love in that one story. Winter was good. I thought the middle dragged out a little bit. It was really long. I didn't think it needed to be that long, which is why I didn't quite give it 5 stars, but overall I think it was a very solid conclusion to the series. Cress is still my favorite. It's true. I still enjoyed Cress the most. I feel like we got to know the characters a lot better in Cress, and I don't know. It was just because I didn't really care for Winter as a character. I didn't really feel like I got to know her like I did for the other girls in their books. But all that to say, it was a good read. I enjoyed it. Finished it up. It's 4 stars. Next thing I read was actually a graphic novel. I'm sorry I don't have most of these things with me because they were all library books and I turned them all back in. But I read Rocket Girl Volume 1, Times Squared by Brandon Montclair, I don't know how you'd say that. And that was the only thing this month I gave less than 4 stars to. I gave it 3 stars. It was an interesting premise and everything. It didn't really capture me. I wasn't really attached to any of the characters or anything. And that could be just because it was a little more towards the comic book style art than the graphic novel style art, which I prefer. So that might just be my preference. I don't plan on continuing with the series or anything, but I did give it 3 stars. It was a pretty solid, enjoyable story and everything. And then the second volume of Hinges finally got released by Meredith McClare, and that is Paper Tigers. And if you enjoy graphic novels and you haven't checked out this Hinges graphic novel series yet, I would highly recommend it. Really a very intriguing story, and I think it's very unique as far as other graphic novel stuff that I've seen out there. So if you enjoy graphic novels, I would definitely check out Hinges by Meredith McClare. There is volumes 1 and 2 out. And I finally read A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. This is a contemporary romance, YA contemporary romance, told from 14 different perspectives. That's right, a bench and a squirrel are included in those perspectives, and it is hilarious. I freaking loved this book. It was so much fun. There were a couple things that had problems with it, but overall, it was just really cute, and I thought it was really funny. Sandy Hall has a great sense of humor, and I already read one of her other books in March, and I can't wait to tell you about that one. But this one I definitely had fun with, and this is one of the few that I actually own, so I could show you. Isn't it cute? What a cute little cover for Valentine's Day, month, whatever. Anyways, I really liked this one, 4 stars. I read sort of like a children's book, I guess you would call it. It was a really beautifully, cloth-bound, hand-stitched children's book cover. I don't really know what to call it, but it was, I guess, a children's book. It was called The Fox and the Star by Corley Bickford Smith, and I hadn't even heard of this book, but I saw it at the bookstore, and it looked really cool. Like, the art was really different and cool in it, but I didn't want to obviously pay for it, so I tried to look it up in the library. I didn't think the library would have it, but they did, and so I checked it out and I read it. It was like, I read it in like 2 minutes. It was super quick. Not a lot of stuff to read in that book, but the illustrations were really cool and different, and I enjoyed it. 4 stars. Then I finally read Blue Lily, Lily Blue, which I've been wanting to read since it came out, by Maggie Stiefvater. It was hard to get into at first because I didn't really remember like anything that had happened in the series up to this point after Dream Thieves. This is the 3rd of 4 books of this series. The final book in the cycle comes out this year, called The Raven King. The cover is super awesome. It's got the green deer on it. I don't know if you've seen that cover, but it's great. You should check it out. Yeah, I actually got the audiobook for this, and it was a lot easier to get into the story with the audiobook listening to that. So I got through it a lot faster than I would have otherwise, and I actually read it at like 2 times, like double speed or something, so I got through it really quick. Her writing is fantastic, and the world is fascinating in a confusing way, if that makes any sense. The last thing I got finished before February was over, even with that extra day in there. The Mystery Boxes by Kazu Kibushi, edited by Kazu Kibushi. A lot of other graphic novel artists actually collaborated in this graphic novel series. I've already read the second and third volumes in March as well, and I really am enjoying it. I love the art styles. They're always beautiful, colorful art stories, and they're just short stories for every artist. Every volume is based around a different theme. So the first volume was mystery boxes, so each story revolves around the idea of this mystery box of some sort. But that's all the books I read in February. Really had a great reading month. I gave everything, like I said, most everything 4 stars. So that's all I have this time. I will see you very soon with my March wrap up, and have a great rest of your reading month. Bye-bye!